Coming up on today's story, we're going to explore the one thing we all have, the one thing we all try to hide, and how it might just be the key to our entire purpose. Have you ever really thought about your scars? I don't just mean the silvery line on your knee from a childhood fall. I mean the real ones. The ones etched onto your heart. The marks left by failure, by betrayal, by a loss so deep you thought you'd never surface. We live in a world of filters and perfection, spending so much energy trying to hide our scars, to cover them up, to heal them until they're invisible. We see them as blemishes on our story. But what if their purpose isn't to disappear? What if their purpose is to be read? To understand this, let's go back 2,000 years. Picture a room thick with the smell of fear and stale bread. It's been a week since the world ended for a small group of friends. Their leader, their teacher, their hope Jesus had been publicly and brutally executed. So now they're hiding. The door is locked, the shutters are barred. Every footstep in the street below sends a fresh jolt of terror through them. They whisper to each other, going over and over the last few days, their grief a tangible thing in the dark. And then, in the very heart of that lockdown fear, he's just there. Not a ghost, not a dream. It's Jesus. He's alive, and he speaks peace to them. To prove it's really him, he shows them the unthinkable, the fresh scars in his hands and his side. But one of them, a man named Thomas, wasn't in the room. When the others find him, they're ecstatic, stumbling over their words to tell him the impossible news: we have seen the Lord. But Thomas looks at their shining faces, and his own grief just deepens. It's too much. Hope feels like a betrayal of the pain he's feeling. Maybe he was a realist. Maybe he was or maybe his heart was just too shattered to risk being broken again. He says the words that will define him for centuries: unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. It sounds like defiance. But if you listen closely, it's a plea. It's the cry of a man who needs something real to hold on to in the wreckage of his life. An entire week goes by. Imagine that week for Thomas, stewing in his grief while his friends are cautiously celebrating. Imagine it for the disciples, who have seen the impossible but have one of their own who thinks they've gone crazy. The tension must have been immense. Then, they're all together again. And just like before, Jesus is suddenly there. The room falls silent. And this time, Jesus walks straight to Thomas. There's no anger in his eyes, no judgment, no "I told you so." Just a profound, heartbreakingly gentle invitation. He holds out his hands. Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. And in that moment, Thomas's entire world shifts on its axis. The wall of his doubt, built from bricks of pain and logic, crumbles into dust. He sees the wounds, and in them, he doesn't just see proof of death. He sees the story of a love so strong that not even death could stop it. He falls to his knees and says, "My Lord and my God." But here is the part of the story that changes everything. Think about this. Jesus came back in a new, resurrected, glorified body, a perfect body. He could have erased the scars. He could have returned completely whole, without a single mark of the trauma he endured. That's what we would do, isn't it? We'd want to erase the evidence of our worst day, but he didn't. He kept them. He chose to keep his scars. Why? This is the entire key. The scars weren't symbols of his failure or his death. They were the emblem of his victory over it. They were the tangible proof that the worst thing that ever happened had been transformed into the best thing that ever happened. They were the marks of a battle won, the receipt that proved our debt was paid in full. This, right here, is the theology of scars. This is where this ancient story becomes intensely personal for you and for me. Your greatest pain, the wound you think disqualifies you, the failure you're so ashamed of, is the very thing God can and will transform into your greatest purpose. Our scars are not meant to be hidden. They are meant to be read. They prove you've been in a battle. The fact that you're here to show them proves you survived. More than that, they give you an empathy, a frequency of connection that you could never have otherwise. The person who has fought through addiction has a unique authority to speak to someone still struggling. The person who has navigated the lonely valley of grief has a unique light to shine for those just entering it. The person whose business failed, whose heart was broken, who battled a terrible illness, your scar is your story. And your story is a source of hope for someone else. Your pain doesn't disqualify you, it anoints you. Your greatest wound becomes your greatest ministry. Your deepest pain becomes your most profound purpose. So don't hide your scars. Don't be ashamed of them. They are a testament to the fact that you are stronger than what tried to break you. They are the evidence of grace. They are the roadmap you now hold to help guide someone else home. Thanks for watching, and watch out for the next episode. Subscribe and share.